You're right, mate. How's it going? Cool, man. Just hanging out. What's up? Well, I was thinking, have you heard of a company called Ineos? Never heard of them, mate. Are they the electricity company? No, mate. Telecoms, right? No, you muppet. Petrochemical company. Very big, multi-billion-dollar company. You heard of them? Never heard of them, mate. What's up with the accent, anyway? I thought I'd do a bit of a Yorkshire impression. What do you think? That's rubbish, mate. You sound like a bloody West Midlander. Where's that? All right, so tell me what's going on here. Why are we sat here? What are we talking about is Ineos people. Well, I'll tell you what. These guys, the management team, they went down the pub for a pint at the Grenadier. Right, that's great, man. I'll tell you what. After one pint, we've got a brand new Land Rover. No, it's not a Land Rover. It's an Ineos Grenadier Defender. I think it had a lot more than one pint, mate. What's going on? On the back of a fag packet. That's correct, mate. The car that Land Rover should have made is now being made by someone else. Right, so tell me about it, mate. What is up with this new car, this new vehicle? I think your accent's slipping, mate. Anyway, what we've done, what we've decided to do is to put a brand new vehicle from scratch, but based it on a Defender. So it's got a ladder chassis, solid axles, transfer case, diff locks all round. This thing needs to be the most capable vehicle ever made. It sounds pretty familiar to me. I think there are a couple out there like the G-Wagon, the Cruiser, the good old Defender. Tell me a bit more about it. What kind of engines we talking about? I'm glad you asked, mate. BMW, you know, the guys that make the best engines in the world. This is going to be straight six, petrol and diesel. It does remind me of one case. End of the 90s, BMW was still owning Land Rover back then, was in South Africa. And BMW and Land Rover engineered a straight six BMW engine into the Defender as a petrol option for the diesel. 2.8i. For those of you who know out there, it's the M52 engine, made about 200 horses, 210 pound-foot, under 10 seconds 200. Very impressive. Sold about 1,300 of the things, which isn't bad considering South Africa is about 1/10 of the market of England. It didn't last very long, but look, they've done it before, which is quite interesting. The idea is not new. Straight six, ladder frame, solid axles, all of that good stuff. And in fact, did you know BMW might be supplying the next Defender, the Land Rover Defender V8 SVR option, which is also quite a roundabout way of coming back to things. And the point here is it's going to be terrifically powerful, reliable. Now hang on a minute, how are you going to service this thing? BMW engine, where are you going to go for that? You need to go to BMW dealer. You know how expensive those guys are? It's more than Land Rover, mate. Don't worry, everything's sorted. I'm sure they've thought of everything. So the BMW engine, fantastic. It's going to have a ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox, which is probably the best on the planet at the moment, which is pretty cool in my book. Dude, your accent is slipping again. You better do a bit more like your best, alright? So yeah, they're on the money with the engine, the gearbox. The chassis is being developed in Austria at a familiar place called Steyr. Sounds expensive, mate. What is this little boy gonna cost? I don't know, mate. Don't worry about it. Be cool. I reckon 40 to 50,000 pounds, mate. That's a lot of money for a van like this, which is going to be simple yet tough. And I'm not sure it's the right thing to do. However, I'm not a multi-billionaire. Good point. There are other alternatives like a Hilux. We're looking at the Ranger, L200, all of those boys, all of those pickups. Very tough, capable, maybe half the price of an Ineos. But look, the Ineos is going to be just so cool, mate. So who's the target market? Military? I don't think so. I think they've moved away from all these kind of vehicles and they're not going to be asking for this. They need mine-proof vehicles. All of that's changed now. Maybe services, utilities, electricity companies, maybe they'll need them. maybe the farmers are the biggest market for them. What do you think of that? Well, I reckon to you, they need to sell about 20 to 25,000 of these boys every year to make back their investment. That's quite a tall order. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I'm excited. 25,000 vehicles every year. I'm not so sure, mate. I'll tell you why. The people who can afford this kind of vehicle, now I keep pointing here because that's our reference, will not be needing all this capability, and the people who need its capability will not be able to afford it. See where I'm going here? Why, you've been very negative today, aren't you? You like it or not? I want to like it, mate. I really do. Something Land Rover could have done, I guess. The styling, I'm not so sure about. It looks a little bit of a clone of the Defender, crossed with a bit of G-Wagon in there. You can't improve on an icon like that. Either change it completely, as Land Rover have done, or start again. Where are you going to buy one? Tell me that. There's no dealerships out there. Is there a servicing network yet? I don't think there's anything out there. We've got parts coming all over the place, from Portugal, from Italy, from Austria, and it's going to be assembled in Wales. This sounds like pretty complicated things. What about buying one of these? Where are you going to do that? They've got this sorted, mate. They don't start developing things out of nothing. They've thought about all this, thought about the market, thought about people going to be selling to, how they're going to service to the dealerships. There's another company out there which you might have heard of. Starts with a T, mate, and that's Tesla. And it came out of nowhere and had nothing, and now they're all over the place, mate. World domination and all. So we can do the same with an Ineos in my book. I heard about that. They've got a bit of a case here with this new company, this new startup called Rivian. Apparently some IP, there's a bit of attorneys and stuff going on there. And the other side is, I heard $6 billion investment in Rivian. That's what it costs to develop a vehicle from nothing into something good. Ineos have gone with the same technology as the G-Wagon underneath. They've gone to Magna Steyr in Austria, as you all know. And these guys know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time. Also, remember, Mercedes is not a newbie when it comes to 4x4s. They make things like the Unimog. You might have heard of that. So yeah, they have a bit of a history as well, except the Defender is above all else. It has more heritage, more kudos, more history. It's gone places other people haven't first. It's discovered areas of the planet previously unknown. All of South America, the Far East, you know the stories. The Defender's been there. Camel Trophy. Defender was the first one out there. So it has this image, which is good, that other vehicles don't have. It has a history in the military, which other vehicles cannot even at this point. G-Wagon is not a military vehicle, not as such. G-Wagons, I don't know why Mercedes still makes them. I suspect it's because they can sell them for £100,000 and they spend their days on the back streets of Monaco and in Beverly Hills. You tell me. Another point from the Defender side is that it doesn't worry if you have a scratch or a dent in it. It doesn't matter. It gives it even more character. In fact, from the factory, they give you dents already, so you don't have to feel so bad. You're going to build a bond with it, and then there's the history of it, and you know this vehicle can go to Sahara any day of the week, and it's very basic, and it's very mechanical. Will you be able to replicate that in your Ineos Grenadier? Because the Grenadier, in effect, has the shape, and that's it, nothing else. Where's the depth? That will have to come, and I hope they do succeed in that, because it is exciting to have another option, even though the technology they're using is already 30 years old. So where is the 21st century thinking, the moving on, the next level? Where is that? That would be interesting to see as well from other companies. The Rivian is probably the best one that comes to mind, the one that's been marketed the best so far. That kind of stuff, that is leading the edge. That's moving forward. You can take your skateboard electric battery pack and put anything on it. A really rough and simple slab-sided, basic rugged 4x4, and you're there. Easily maintainable, reliable, and efficient. sorry to say, guys, we are heading that way slowly but surely. We are actually in that moment where big changes are about to happen. And a lot of us, maybe our age, are not ready for that yet, but it is needed, necessary, and it's an exciting time. Let's see what happens. I'm sure they got this sorted, mate. I'm really excited for this. It's coming out next year. They're developing it. They're doing the last rounding off. We've seen the pictures. I kind of like the styling, mate. It's not quite as sorted. I think it's too fussy, the styling. Back doors, good idea. Better than this. For the rest, I'm not sure they've been very innovative and actually creative in the whole thing. My last point here, what about the eco aspect? Carbon emissions. Do you know what it costs in carbon emissions to build one single vehicle? If you're looking for a tough, simple, reliable, cheap to operate vehicle, get yourself an old one. Spend a couple of grand on the diffs, new gearbox, go to Ashcroft, upgrade the engine, and you're sorted. And your eco footprint is much smaller, and it will last you another 20 years anyway. Your accent is all over the place, mate. You need to work on it a little more. Dude, let's see what happens next year. I'm really excited. There's someone out there giving it a go, trying to come up with something new, something exciting, something tough, something that we all look forward to. Something that can replace our good old Defenders. Replacing this Defender. My wife will kill me, mate. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed watching this one. My accent is all over the place today, but I thought give it a go. And thumbs up if you like it. Let me know your comments down below for the new Ineos Grenadier coming out next year. Yeah, fantastic development. And we'll see if our bank account can handle it and if my wife will be on board with it. Anyway, guys, keep rolling. See you on the next one.